In a recent podcast, you learned about Blake, a 9-year-old boy. In fact, if you didn't see that, click the link below to watch part 1 of this video, which is really the follow-up to that one. So you heard about Blake, the 9-year-old boy who forgot his shoes when his family went camping. You ever been through that? You get I forgot my shoes, I forgot my coat. I encouraged Mom to think about the long-term benefits of responsibility and not to rescue her son from the natural consequences of having no shoes. In other words, he'd have to deal with the thorns, the rough trails, the cold. So, months later, that was a brief summary of part 1 that you'll click below. The same mother wrote me, and she said, sometimes my son and I start our evening with, actually it's the end of the day, but we start our evening hugging time together by watching one of your videos. That's a pretty smart thing to do with a kid. So we start watching your videos, and then we talk about it afterward. I said, this is brilliant of you. In addition to the obvious loving that you're already doing, I mean, at night you hold him, you spend time with him, you do that during the daytime, you're introducing more teaching, which kids need as much as the loving. Brilliant. And then I wanted to explain to her that you can't separate the two. You can't separate loving and teaching. How can you say that you love a child, which is to care about their happiness? Well, they're just little kids. They don't know how to become happy and responsible. How can you say you love a child without teaching? So loving is never indulgent. It's love and teach all the time. It's one word, love and teach. And I told Mom, you're just brilliant. And Mom said, tonight we watched the podcast on teaching responsibility and consequences. And you started telling the story of a boy who didn't bring his shoes for a camping trip. And my son says, hey, I did that once. And Mom says, I just burst out laughing. And he said, what? Why are you laughing? So I told him that he was the boy in the story. You had changed his name in the podcast, so he didn't recognize it immediately. He thought that was just so cool to be the boy in the story. Mom continued, we talked about the lessons that we learned in the video, and then I cradled his face in my hands. I held it close to mine and said, son, you have grown so much since that trip that I can hardly believe it. You have become such a responsible young man. Now, I'm going to just pause here and interrupt what Mom said. When you tell a boy that he's behaving responsibly and you refer to him as a man, his chest grows in size. I'm not kidding. You couldn't say anything cooler, but you have to mean it, and it has to be true. So, back to Mom. She said, you've become such a responsible young man. You chose to listen and learn, and it's amazing. I'm not a fan of the word amazing because we say to a child who stacked 2 blocks together or did 10% of a chore, oh, you're so amazing to everything, so that the words become worn down to nothing. But Mom uses it here in a way that's sincere. So back to Mom. She says, it's amazing that you're learning to be responsible. You used to argue with me about everything. Do you even remember that? She's saying to her kid, we don't do the arguing anymore. And you feel so much more loved and happy. You just astonish me. I admire what you're doing, Mom said. Kids can't hear that too much when it means something, when it's true. Mom concluded in talking to me, I feel nothing but love for my son. I want him to become responsible and loving and so happy. I'm really proud, in addition, of the decisions he's making. So those are different. I love him unconditionally, and I'm proud of the decisions he's making, meaning I'm happy for him, not, gee, he's so much easier for me to handle. It's all about loving and teaching over and over. Don't be afraid of your children. Don't give in to their demands because they might not like you. Don't bribe them or criticize them. No, just keep doing the right thing, meaning teach the right thing and love them unconditionally, and you won't believe the results. This mother proves that it's possible, as so many others have done. If she can do it, so can you. To learn more, go to realloveparents.com, and you can have experiences like this mother did with her son.